What is up, everybody? It's Cody with Blood Money MMA Bets, and I'm back with another full card prediction video. This is for UFC 290, Volkanovski versus Rodriguez. It's going to be a really good card. It's got a ton of good name value on it. It's got a ton of good fights. Man, the money lines are already super juiced up. There's not too many like even fights to call, but I do like a lot of the props and the over-unders on this card. I'm still waiting for a lot of the lines to drop, though. But it is going to be a good card. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be in the big cage, which is nice. So all that stuff equals out to a super good fight card. We're going to do a quick recap of UFC Vegas 76, and then we'll get right into some other stuff for this card. UFC Vegas 76 had my first loss in 6 weeks, man. Put my 5-week winning streak to an end. I went 2-3 for minus 3.85 units. My two winning bets, I had Sean Strickland plus 200, and he made that look easy, exactly how I thought it was going to be, just outclassing. He just had to survive that first round. He did, and then he threw a beating on him. Second winning bet was Luana Carolina, which was an excellent call at plus 185. There were some close moments in that fight, but overall, she did exactly what I thought she was going to do and win the clinch exchanges and even win in the grappling. My 3 losing bets, man, this is what took my streak away. I had the Bomb Fiend over 1.5 rounds, and who could have seen him getting submitted in under 1.5? Like, who could have seen Bomb Fiend losing in under 1.5? That's just crazy. And that was the only thing that could have really killed me. Second losing bet, I had Bomb Fiend parlayed with Renat, and like I said, Bomb Fiend just fought weird. Didn't even defend the rear naked choke. It was terrible. And then my third losing bet was Guram parlayed with Renat, and Guram was winning 2-0. And then just, you could see he was like gassed after 4 minutes into the first round, won the second round, survived, and then the third round, he got punched in the neck and just lost. So if any one of them 3 would have hit, I would have won, had my 6th winning week in a row. Who would have thought Guram, Bomb Fiend, and Bomb Fiend would even get choked out in under a round and a half by St. Denise. So, man, kind of a crazy card, but it is what it is. Took a loss. 2-3, minus 3.85 units. That brings my overall official bet record to 245 and 174 for plus 60 or for plus 90.25 units. And it brings my 2023 record to 63 and 49 for plus 12.95 units. So we're still doing good, still in the positive. Every time I keep building it up, I lose a little back, but 5 weeks in a row, lost one, about to go on another 5 to 10 week winning streak. And I'm going to love all the bets that I'll have in this week. I'm going to kill this card. So, real quick too, I wanted to go over a couple of the winning bets that I had in the Discord, in the Layer Cake Discord, because there's a ton of sharp people in there. We had STLHD Slayer, got the Luana Carolina. He used the plus 3.5, hit that. That was a nice sharp bet. We got my boy Derek Izzy with the algorithm, hitting Carol Rosa and Elvis Brenner. Elvis Brenner at plus 500, Carol Rosa at minus 180. That was excellent wins. STLHD Slayer again with the Joe Anderson Brito by KO minus 125, and that was an easy win, man. He also had Nursultan Ruziboev by TKO or submission. He got that TKO win. That was another great one. Andrew right here. This was an excellent one, man. Fight to complete 2 full rounds, yes, at minus 150, and then he had Strickland over 1.5 rounds. That was super safe, hit super easy. That was a nice bet. Jay Holbert had Strickland to win by KO or submission plus 250. That was an excellent bet and super easy. And then Feldy 331 with the Luana Carolina at plus 176. Sean Strickland minus 150. What a great line. Then he had Grant Dawson plus 121. That was an excellent bet. And then Fakardinov minus 3.5. He got it at plus 110. Man, that was easy money. A bunch of people, STLHD Slayer with the Sean Strickland bets, man. Them were good bets. So that was all good stuff. It was let's see. It was a good card for a lot of people, just not me. But like I said, man, we're gonna get that back this week. We'll get it back. Everybody, man, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment on this video, man. I'm trying to get this channel to be one of the biggest ones in the game. Also, my Layer Cake Discord is popping. You just seen people winning stuff. We got the stocks. We got all kinds of different action going on. We got jokes, memes, everything, man. So Layer Cake Discord, about 200 people in it now. It's free. The link is in the description. If you want to join in, talk crap, have a good time during the fights and stuff, hit it up. It's free. I also have my Patreon where I give out my early bets. You're going to beat line movement with me. You're going to get my DraftKings lineup. You're going to get my 10 most confident bets in order. All different kinds of stuff. Layer cake parlay. Any extra bets I decide to put in that are extra for the layer cake Patreon, you get all them. And I've been hitting a whole bunch of them. Like I said last week, wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. 2 and 3. We're going to get anything and all that back this week. Let's see. We're going to go into Tapology and hope it works good for us today, man. Let's get right into this card. The first fight that we have on this card is Edgar Chairez versus Tatsuro Taira. And I've been getting crap on my name pronunciation, but it is what it is. I do have these fights 5-6 days ago, and you're going to get the good bet. So Edgar is 10-4, currently sitting at plus 650. 27 years old, 5'7" with a 72-inch reach. Tatsuro is 23 years old, 5'7" with a 70-inch reach, currently sitting at -1,000. And Edgar Chairez ain't that bad, man. I watched him fight. If you watched him fight on the Contender Series against Clayton Carpenter, he lost, but he put up a really good showing, and I'm really high on Clayton Carpenter. Clayton Carpenter's a super well-rounded young prospect, and he was able to do a lot of damage to Clayton Carpenter when it was on the feet, man. He's got a nice long jab. He's got excellent timing on his flying knees. He hit Carpenter with a couple of them, and he's had some other KOs with him too, spinning elbow KOs, flying knees. He's really got a good striking game, and he's really long with his striking too. You see he's got good jiu-jitsu with his last 2 wins being armbar, guillotine. He's got a fast straight right with power. And like I said, throwing 1-2s, and he was able to bust up Clayton Carpenter early in that fight. And he showed pretty good takedown defense too in that fight. And even when he was on his back, he was able to get up. And Clayton Carpenter has a really good wrestling and really good jiu-jitsu. So that was pretty good stuff. And he even won the first round and made the other 2 super close, and he was a big underdog in that. He's finished all 10 of his wins. He's got 4 KO and 6 submissions, so he's dangerous anywhere this fight goes. And he's gonna have a tough time though, man, fighting Tatsuro Taira. This kid is so good. 23 years old, Japanese superstar. He has really good wrestling, man. Any kind of wrestling. Greco-Roman. He can shoot doubles, singles, good timing on them, or he can body lock, take you down. He has phenomenal jiu-jitsu, super heavy on top, super good transitions, and excellent submissions with the arm bars or rear naked chokes. He's got when he's standing, he's got pretty good long kickboxing. It actually isn't too bad. He just doesn't use it all that much, but he does have pretty good kicks. He's got pretty long punches, and he's got a really good tie clinch. Like when he gets people in the tie clinch and starts throwing knees, dude, he actually, it's surprising how good that is. His last fight, he's fighting a guy that's fighting on this card, an actual common opponent, Jesus Aguilar, who actually fought Chairez a couple years ago and submitted him in the 5th round in a very good back and forth fight. And then he dominated CJ Vergara and was able to get him out of there. And he's this is a catch weight at 130 because it's short notice for Chairez. And even though Chairez is good and he's super tough, I got to take Tatsuro here. I got to think that Tatsuro is going to have to look to get this fight to the ground. He does have good kickboxing, good tie clinch, but his striking is not going to be as good as Chairez. So Tatsuro is going to have to look to get to this ground, to the fight to the ground early and often. I think he's going to be able to do that and get some control time. And then since this is short notice for Chairez, I'm going to say maybe by that 2nd or 3rd round, Tatsuro is just able to hit something on a more tired Edgar and get that submission win for his 3rd submission win in a row in the UFC. Next fight is in the men's 135-pound division. We got Cameron Saaiman versus Terrence Mitchell. Cameron Saaiman is 8-0. He's currently sitting at -480, 22 years old, 5'8" with a 67-inch reach. Terrence Mitchell is 15-2, currently sitting at +350, 33 years old, 5'10", reach not available. So you see that Mitchell's going to be 2 inches taller, and he's going to be 11 years older, so that's never a good thing. But Cameron Saaiman, man, fighting out of South Africa, trains with Dricus du Plessis. This kid's good. He's very well-rounded for a 22-year-old. He's got really good striking. He's switch stance striking. He's got good, powerful knees in the clinch. That's how he was able to get his win against Stephen Kozlow. He's got excellent striking with either hand, knocked out Josh Wang Kim with that left hook, and he's got good power in his right hook too. For some reason, he likes to foul people. He's gotten points taken away in Stephen Kozlow fight and Mana Martinez fight. So for some reason, he fouls people. But He's a good, well-rounded fighter, man, especially for being a kid. He's got excellent toughness, excellent cardio. He can be taken down, but he's got good jiu-jitsu, he's got good scrambles, he's got good reversals, and then he's good on top and heavy on top. And I think one of his best attributes is his cardio and toughness. He'll fight all night, and he keeps the same pace up the whole time. And if you can't roll with it, you're going to get finished. And that's what happened to Wang. He was getting beat down and tired out. That's what happened to Kozlo. Terrence Mitchell, man, this dude, he's fought on the Alaska FC scene. He was on the Ultimate Fighter where he's knocked out in 30 seconds by Kai Kara France back in 2016. And since then, man, he's been beating dudes up, but they're just low-level guys. He has never really – the only time he ever really fought a good guy in his whole career was Kai Kara France, and he got knocked out. But you see here fighting 11-6, 0-2, 1-2, records not even available, 4-0, 4-2, 4-1 down there in the Alaska FC scene. But this dude does have long kickboxing. He's very aggressive. He's got pretty good power. He's finished 14 of his wins. As you see here, he's got 8 KOs and 6 submissions. His BJJ looks pretty decent, man. He can take the back and get a rear naked choke, or which you see he's got a bunch of rear naked chokes on his resume, or he can get the arm triangles, arm bars, everything. He's got good head kicks. He's pretty dangerous. He's just really reckless. He lacks a lot of technique. He lacks distance management for being how big he is. He'll rush into the pockets, and he just rushes into a firefight, and that's not going to go good for him here, because Cameron Saaiman, even though he's the littler, he's a little bit shorter, and he's younger, he's still got the better experience, in my opinion. He's going to be the better, more well-rounded guy, and I think he's going to be able to pace himself better and take more damage and keep that cardio up. So give me Cameron Saaiman and give me him inside the distance. I don't know if he gets it done first, second, or third round, but I would say within the first 2 rounds, just the way Terrence Mitchell fights. And I'll be looking at unders on that fight for sure. Next fight is in the men's 205-pound division. We got Victor Petrino versus Marcin Prachnio. Victor Petrino is 8-0. Currently sitting at minus 275. He's 25 years old, 6'2" with the 77-inch reach. Marcin Prachnio is 16-6, currently sitting at plus 220, 34 years old, 6'3" with the 74-inch reach. So you see Petrino is going to have a 3-inch reach advantage, Prachnio 1-inch height advantage. Victor Petrino, man, this dude is aggressive, fire hydrant, just built pure muscle, super aggressive striking, man. He can KO you with either hand early in the first round, like he's done to most of his people, or he's actually got decent wrestling and a decent ground game, as you've seen against Anton Turkalj. He used a little bit against Bellato on the Contender Series before he was able to knock him out, but that was a really good, tough back and forth fight. But he's got a good variety of leg and head kicks. He'll mix them up. He can hit you hard with either hand. Like I said, he's got powerful wrestling. Everything he does, he's very athletic and explosive and powerful, and he knocks guys out. I mean, he went to decision with Turkalj, but he almost had him out of there a couple times. And then you see all these first and second round finishes. He's got good BJJ, great ground and pound, and he's got really, really powerful hooks and uppercuts. And I think that's might be what he hits Prachnio here with. Prachnio, though, ain't bad, man. He's got good kickboxing. He's fast, powerful kickboxing. You've seen his last fight. He's got powerful leg kicks that he was able to hit William Knight with and basically win that fight. He's also used them leg kicks to beat Khalil Roundtree. Ike Villanueva was body kicked to sleep, basically KO body kick. And he looked decent against Lenz, and Lenz has looked really good recently. It's just that he was grappled against Lenz and he slowed down really bad in that second round. But he's a really well-rounded fighter. He actually has good takedown defense. He has good BJJ. He has really good striking. He has good power. His cardio, though, he slows down with that grappling for sure. But it's going to be a really good fight. I don't think it's going to be as easy. I mean, either Petrino's going to get him out of here in that first round, or this is going to be a back and forth dogfight, man. And Marcin Prachnio did get knocked out 3 times in a row before he went on, and he's had a nice little run where he's gone 3-1, but he did get knocked out by Mike Rodriguez, Magomed Ankalaev, and Sam Alvey all in the first round. And I think that could rear its head here again. I'm not going to bet this fight. I might be looking at the unders. Depends on what the line are at. But I'm going to take Victor Petrino by knockout. I'm going to say these dudes start throwing bombs in that first round, and one of them goes down. I won't be betting Petrino, but I do want to look at what the over-under is at. Next fight is in the men's 155-pound division. We got Kamuela Kirk versus Esteban Riobovics. Kamuela Kirk is 11-5, currently sitting at plus 165. He's 29 years old, 5'10", with a 75-inch reach. Esteban is 11-1, currently sitting at minus 170, 27 years old, 5'10", with a 69-inch reach. So they're basically same height, but you see Kamuela Kirk has a 6-inch reach advantage. Kamuela Kirk, this guy's well-rounded. He's been doing jiu-jitsu and everything since a kid. His dad is his coach, so obviously he's been getting taught since he was a kid. But he looked okay in a short notice fight against Makwan Americani, where he was taken down in the first round and controlled in a little bit in the second, but then was able to keep the fight standing, where he just picked Makwan apart, basically, you know, pop shotted him and won a very close decision. And then against Damon Jackson, man, he was just beat up in that fight. He was beat up standing up. He was beat up on the ground until he's finally just overwhelmed and submitted. He's never really had a good fight win in his whole career. He beat Kevin Kroom back in the day, and then that win over a Makwan Americani, who gasses out if he can't get you out of there in the first round. But he's got decent striking. He's got some decent kickboxing. He's got decent offensive and defensive wrestling. Pretty good BJJ and pretty good scrambles. I'd say the ground is his best asset. But he's got good inside and outside leg kicks. But he's low output. He isn't the most powerful guy in the world, and I just don't think that he's going to win here. Coming up to 155, he's used to fighting at 145 against dudes, and he's getting the floor mopped with him there by Damon Jackson. I don't think it's going to be any better for Esteban. Esteban, I like him, man. Trains out of American Top Team. This kid looked really good against Loki Radzahabov, whatever. The one dude is going to get on me in the comments, but whatever, Loki. He looked good against him, man. He was taken down a couple times, but he was able to get back up. He showed really good striking here at Loic, like 3 or 4 times in that fight. He got hurt himself a couple times, like right in the first 10 seconds. But other than that, he's finished every single person he's ever fought, and most of them's in the first round. You see this. He's got 11 wins, 6 KO, 5 submissions, so he's very well-rounded. Right hook to ground and pound. He's punching people out. He's got excellent jab, man. Very aggressive from the opening bell. Like, he will come out and start just throwing bombs in the first 10 seconds and try to get you out of there. His switch stance boxing is really sick. It's really good, and his forward pressure is nice. Not gonna say it reminds me of like how Ilya Taporia does, but that's how he does. He switches boxing stance is really smooth, man. He just what really was is just the way that he's real composed, walking guys down, you know, not using much energy, but making them use energy just from being in their face. And then he's hitting them with big shots with both hands, man. Excellent Kimura from the top or bottom position when he gets on the ground. That's what he really likes to go for. You see, he's had inverted triangle wins. He's had 2 Kimura wins, and he kept going for it against Loic. He uses it to reverse and all that, but he works the body well with punches and kicks. And I really like Esteban here, man. I think Esteban's going to get Kamuela Kirk out of here. I think his striking is going to be too much. I think even if he gets taken down, he's going to be able to get back up. And I think on the feet, he's going to be throwing a lot more volume, and he's going to be hitting a lot harder. And he's used to knocking out 155ers, and I think he's going to knock out Kamuela Kirk here. Next fight is in the women's 115-pound strawweight division. We got Yazmin Jauregui versus Denise Gomes. Jauregui is 10-0, currently sitting at -420. She's 24 years old, 5'3", with a 64-inch reach. Gomes is 7-2, currently sitting at +320. She's 23 years old, 5'2", with a 63-inch reach. And Jauregui, man, this girl is freaking tough. Definitely a prospect to keep your eyes on. She has excellent striking. Her boxing is amazing. She's always throwing in combo, and she ends most of her combos with the leg kick, and she's just throwing heat, like with every punch she throws. If she throws a 4-punch combo, all 4 of them are with heat. She's got decent kicks. She doesn't use them as much as her boxing, but she doesn't really need to because her boxing's so good. She's shown really good offensive and defensive grappling. She keeps the fight standing when she needs to. She's got powerful leg kicks, and she throws a ton of them. And I think that's going to help her a lot in this fight. She's got an excellent left hook, whether she's using it as a lead left hook or a check left hook. She always throws her punches in combo. Like I said, all of them got heat, and she's very tough, very durable with excellent cardio. She fought 3 rounds with Lucindo down here, and that was a war. And she got hit a lot of hard times and was able to come back and just hit her harder and get that unanimous decision. And then against Estela Nunes, she got caught in that first round and almost knocked out. I mean, she got dropped, not almost knocked out because she got dropped. You could tell she's like out for a second when she hit the mat and popped right back up and just got right back to action. So she's really tough. This girl's an excellent prospect, and she's probably going to be a top 5 fighting for the title girl one day. Denise Gomes, on the other hand, this girl's a junkyard dog, man. She's got good Muay Thai. She's got good Muay Thai. She's got good grappling, and that's her background. She's just a junkyard dog, though. She comes forward with strikes. She's going to be throwing her boxing combinations and combo. She's got good power. She's just a little bit slower, and she's going to be slower in Jauregui here. You've seen in her last fight against Bruna Brazil, she looked really good, was able to hit her with some big shots, drop her with that right hook, and then finished her on the ground. But looking great through that whole fight where she was just landing big shots. She looked good. She looked good in the clinch. She has good, pretty decent wrestling, and then she has good jiu-jitsu. She's constantly going for submissions. It kind of cost her in that Loma Lukbumi fight, where she took on super short notice, like 1 week short notice. But that's where she was she would get Luke Boomy down, or she would reverse her, and then she would just go for a submission right away and get reversed herself. But she looked pretty good on the Contender Series against Rain Dos Santos, where she was able to just put pressure on her, and was able to slow her down and just beat her up after she just so much pressure was actually able to just gas her out, because they didn't really grapple too much, and it was just a striking fight, but she just kept coming forward. So she's good. She's a junkyard dog. She's well-rounded. She uses her Muay Thai. She's super, super tough. She's got 5 finishes. Yazmin Jauregui has 7 KO wins. Denise Gomes has 5 KO wins. I'm actually going to take Yazmin here by KO, and I think that these girls are going to get in a firefight from the the opening bell, and I think that eventually Jauregui is able to finish her in under them 2.5 rounds. So I will be looking at that, because Jauregui's line at -420 is just super, super high. Next fight is in the men's flyweight division. We got Shannon Ross versus Jesus Aguilar. Shannon Ross is 13-7, currently sitting at plus 160. 34 years old, 5'6" with a 66-inch reach. Jesus Aguilar is 8-2, currently sitting at -190. 27 years old, 5'4" with a 62-inch reach. So you see Shannon Ross is going to be 2 inches taller with 4 inches of reach. And Shannon Ross, man, he's had a bad run here in the UFC and Contender Series lately. He went on the Contender Series and was finished by Vicenia Salvador, and he really took a beating in there. Started coming back in the second round, but then was just knocked out again. He got dropped like 3 or 4 times in that fight. Then against Clayton Rodriguez was finished quick. He got hurt to the body, and then Clayton just brought the heat and finished him up against the cage. He has some decent wins throughout his career. He's pretty tough. You see, he got choked out by Earseg here, but he's tough. All right, he's got decent stand-up, decent boxing. He has really good cardio. He has okay offensive and defensive wrestling. Man, that's what's going to be what we want to see here, is who's going to have the better wrestling here. But he's got really good cardio, really good toughness. He's got a strong clinch up against the cage. He's got good stepping and flying knees, which could, work here, because Aguilar is super short and constantly diving in for legs. And he's very tough with very good cardio. I know we haven't seen too much of it in the last 2 fights, but Shannon Ross is a dog. He's just getting a little older, and he can't take a shot to the head no more. Jesus Aguilar, man, this dude is little, but he's built like a fire hydrant. You seen him on the Contender Series fight a dude that was like 5'11", and he was able to take some big shots in there. He gave that dude some big shots, wore on him, took him down, finally got him down in the 3rd round and got the finish there. He's got a sick guillotine choke. As you see, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 guillotine chokes out of his last 5 wins. Tough UFC debut against Tatsuro Taira, where they went to the ground pretty quick in that fight, and you seen Taira was just a level above him, was able to hit that armbar triangle. But he is tough, man. He's gone 5 rounds. He doesn't look like he has the best cardio, but he does. He went 5 rounds and finished Edgar Chairez, who we're going to see fight on Saturday too, with that guillotine choke at 4:41 into the 5th round. So this dude keeps cardio. He's got really good toughness. He's got decent wrestling. I mean, you see on the Contender Series, kept throwing himself on his head. So I don't know how good his wrestling is, but he's going to keep trying to wrestle. And then his jiu-jitsu is really good. He's got good sweeps. He's got good submissions. I said about that guillotine. He's got good leg kicks. He's got pretty good boxing with power, man. It's like awkward. It doesn't look like he wants to stand up, but when he does strike, man, he's got power. He does power and explosion in everything he does. I'm going to take Jesus Aguilar, but it's going to be a freaking close fight, man. I don't think that that he's just going to walk over Shannon Ross. I actually think this is probably going to be like a 3-round back and forth war, because it's 2 lower level guys. So I'm not going to have my money anywhere near that, but I will watch it and see what happens as a fan. This next fight is a rematch that we're going to get. That was a draw on UFC Australia. Jimmy Crute versus Alonzo Menifield. We have Jimmy Crute, who is 12-3-1, currently sitting at -120. He's 27 years old, 6'2" with a 74-inch reach. Alonzo Atomic Menifield is 13-3-1, currently sitting at +100. He's 35 years old, 6 foot tall with a 76-inch reach. Jimmy Crute, man, well, what can we say with the last fight with these guys? It started out, Jimmy Crute came out, landed about 4 or 5 takedowns in that first round. It seemed like he slowed himself down, and then Alonzo Menifield came out and hit him with some really big shots at the end of the first round and dropped him, almost had him finished. Came out in the second round, gave him some more beating, Towards the end of the round, he kind of slowed down. Jimmy Crute was able to get on top. And then in the third round, Alonzo Menifield was gassed out, but he had put a beating on Crute. Most guys wouldn't have survived what Crute survived. And then he held onto the cage when Crute was trying to take him down, and that's why he lost the point, and that's what gave it the draw. So Menifield should have won that fight in a back-and-forth crazy war. Jimmy Crute's got pretty good striking. He's just a little bit slow, but it's powerful striking. He's got good wrestling. He's got really good jiu-jitsu, and he's got excellent ground and pound. He goes for submissions. He's got a really good Kimura. He's got nice Muay Thai clinch knees. That's what he was hitting with Menifield to the body with some of them, which I think slowed him down. But he's got just good wrestling, good jiu-jitsu, good striking. He's really tough, but he's kind of slow. He's like a bigger, just muscular oaf kind of dude, but he is really good. Menifield, this dude's explosive, athletic. He's got powerful striking. He's got good offensive and defensive wrestling and grappling, but he showed good takedown defense at most parts of the fight. But then when he was taken down in the end of the second and then in the third, man, he was just, no get up game, was so tired. So this is a very, very tough fight to call. Menifield, like I said, is going to be throwing heat, throwing power, powerful leg kicks, good offensive and defensive wrestling, excellent ground and pound. I'm going to go with Menifield in this fight. I think that Menifield could finish the job here or just not grab that fence and then not get finished himself and win 2 out of 3 rounds. But I actually do think he's going to knock out Jimmy Crute this time. I think he addresses the wrestling and he keeps this fight standing and he knocks out Jimmy Crute. And then when Jimmy Crute goes to grapple with him, I think Menifield should be smart enough in this fight to not grapple with him and just keep letting him up and just keep knocking him down, man. I think he gets Jimmy Crute out of there in that within the first 2 rounds. Next fight is going to be Robbie Lawler versus Niko Price, and this is going to be a banger. I didn't have the research done for Jack Della. They just announced that today right before I did this card, but I'm going to take Jack Della, and I'm going to take Jack Della by KO. I know this dude's undefeated, the muscle hamster, all that, but Jack Della by KO. That was an easy breakdown. Robbie Lawler versus Niko Price. Robbie Lawler is 29-16, currently sitting at plus 210. He's 41 years old, 5'11 with the 74-inch reach. Niko Price is 15-6, currently sitting at minus 260. 33 years old, 6 foot with the 76-inch reach. So you see Niko Price going to be 1 inch taller with 2 inches of reach. Ruthless Robbie Lawler is 41 years old, not the same guy he used to be. Still has good boxing. You've seen the last fight with Bryan Barberena. Excuse me, 1 second. You've seen in that fight with Bryan Barberena, he was still landing good shots, and he took a little bit of shots in the first round, but he was giving them back. In the second round, he wasn't doing too bad, and then he just got hit with a really big shot and got standing TKO by Bryan Barberena, who's a tough dude with excellent cardio. But Robbie Lawler, man, he doesn't throw many kicks. He's basically just southpaw boxing these days. He's got a really strong jab, and then he's got a nice straight left when he throws it. He can be really low output. You see here, he's what, 1, 2, 4, 5. He's 1 5 in his last 6 fights, but he's fighting some of the best people in the world until he fought Bryan Barberena. But yeah, man, he's basically a southpaw boxer. He's going to try to back you up, hit you with some big shots, and try to get you out of there. But it just hasn't been working lately, and it seems as though his durability is going down. He's definitely lost some of his speed and really some of his power, because back in the day, he would have knocked out Bryan Barberena in the first round, and that's just a fact. Niko Price, man, he's older dude himself, man, 33 years old, coming in probably with the double knee pads because he's had a lot of surgery. He's got good awkward striking with excellent power. I believe that he's finished 13 of his 15 wins. Yeah, 13 of his 15 wins, 10 KO and 3 subs, man. So he hits you like his win over his win over James Vick is when he upkicked him. He's got a win over Randy Brown with hammer fists from the bottom. The dude's dangerous anywhere, man. Like I said, long, awkward striking. He's got heavy hands, KO you from anywhere, nice inside and outside leg kicks. He has decent offensive and defensive wrestling, and he's got pretty good jiu-jitsu. He ain't really submitting too many people, but he can stay alive, or he can use the sweep to get on top. This dude's a junkyard dog, though, man. He's going to fight you till the end or until he gets put out. But he's got really, really good cardio, really good toughness, and he hits really, really hard. And I think the 10-year difference, or 8-year age difference is going to be a factor too. The cardio is going to be a factor. But I think this is going to be a tough dogfight, man. I'm taking Niko Price. I don't think he finishes Robbie Lawler like Barberena did. But you never know, dude. Robbie Lawler is usually a tough dude. But I'm going to take Niko Price, and I'm going to take him by a sloppy decision. And I don't think that's going to be the best fight to watch in the world, but this next one's going to be really, really good. Next fight is on the main card. We got Dan Hooker versus Jalin Turner. Dan Hooker is 22-12, currently sitting at plus 190. He's 33 years old, 6 foot with a 75.5-inch reach. Jalin Turner is 13-6, currently sitting at minus 240. 28 years old, 6'3" with a 75.5-inch reach. So the reach is the same. Jalin Turner's going to have 3 inches of height. Dan Hooker, dude, very experienced, well-rounded fighter. He's been showing a little bit better grappling in his last couple fights. He uses defensive grappling against lower-level Pujoles, was able to get that win. Used offensive grappling against Nasrat Haqparast and was able to get that win using grappling and striking. But he's been on a little bit of a bad run. You know, he's been finished in 3 out of his last 4 losses, and he's 2-4 in his last 6. So it's not good, but he has been fighting the toughest people in the world. He has really, really long kickboxing. He has good leg kicks, good body kicks. He has good boxing. He throws that jab a lot. He throws the 1-2. The 1-2 has some good power behind it. He has excellent step in and flying knees. He's got a really good clinch knee, Muay Thai knees too. Super tough, great cardio, works the body a lot. If he can show up and be the guy that fought Dustin Poirier, he could easily get the win here. But if he's the guy, if he shows up that fought Chandler, Makhachev, or Arnold Allen, he's going to get finished, man. If he comes out and just gets into a crazy striking match with Jalin Turner, because Jalin Turner is a bad dude, man. He's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu under the Gracies out in California. He has phenomenal kickboxing, super long, super tall, hits you from every single angle, long knees. He throws super long punches, hooks, hits you with power at the end, man. You seen when he finished Jamie Malarkey, just hit him with the right hook, stumbled him back to the fence, went in and finished him. Brad Riddell, same thing, man. Hurt him, took him to the ground, choked him out. Euros Medic, he little brothered him, beat him up, made him fold, made him basically give up, and he rear naked choked him. You see, he's finished the last 3 out of his last 4 people, 3 out of his last 5 with rear naked chokes and submissions, and then he's ground and pound the other 2. He's finished all 13 of his wins. He's also been KO'd 3 times in his career. So that was earlier on, you know, against Vicente Luque at 170, and then outside the UFC when he was earlier on. But this dude's well-rounded. He's showing really good wrestling. I think he'll have the wrestling advantage here. I think he's going to have the jiu-jitsu advantage here. I think he has the ground and pound advantage. He's going to have the speed advantage and probably the power advantage. This is going to be a really, really crazy, crazy good fight. I'm taking Jalin Turner. I'm going to take him by finish. I don't know when. And I'll be looking at the under in this fight because I think both these dudes are going to come out throwing blows. And both of them are finishers, and both of them can be finished. So I'm going to be looking at the under instead of probably betting aside. But I do really like Jalin Turner here, man. Next fight is Robert Whittaker versus Dricus du Plessis in the men's 185-pound division. Robert Whittaker is 24-6, currently sitting at minus 385. He's 6 foot with a 73.5-inch reach. Dricus du Plessis is 19-2, currently sitting at plus 300. He's 29 years old, 6'1", with a 76-inch reach. So you see Dricus will be 1 inch taller with a 2.5-inch reach advantage. But Robert Whittaker, man, this dude is a beast. If it wasn't for Israel Adesanya, this guy wouldn't have been beat since what, like 2014, man. He's just really, really, really well-rounded. He has excellent movement and timing. He has really good feints, man. He's got excellent right head kick. That's what he was able to hit Vettori with that and hurt him. He hurt Gastelum with it. He hurt Cannonier, and that's what actually broke Cannonier's arm in that fight. He doesn't have a ton of head kick knockouts, but he does use that right head kick. You see right there when he knocked out Brunson and Souza back in the day with both of them. And like I said, since then, he's hurt all the last 3 opponents with it. It's very quick. He's striking and timing in and out is just sick, man. Like, he leaves dudes froze and then he hits them with the 3-piece and just moves out. Like, he's a very, very good counter striker. He's got excellent offensive and defensive wrestling. His jiu-jitsu is awesome. You've seen him use it against people like Darren Till, where he's able to take him down and beat him up. He actually took Calvin Gastelum down and beat him up, which should worry people when Calvin Gastelum fights Shavkat, because that's probably what's going to happen. But yeah, man, he's just really good, really well-rounded fighter. He's fought the best people in the world and beat most of them that ain't named Izzy Adesanya. Excellent kicks, just really good toughness, excellent cardio, some of the best fight IQ in the game. And he's going to be fighting Dricus du Plessis, who maybe doesn't have the best fight IQ in the game, way more sloppier, not as technical, but he is a dog. He's super tough, man. He's got really good awkward kickboxing. He started as a K1 kickboxer. It's weird because his striking's kind of awkward, but man, he throws with heat. He throws with power, and he throws a ton of volume. He makes every single fight he gets in a dog fight, and that's why he's finished all of his opponents but one. And the one he didn't finish was Tavares, who took a hell of a beating. But he's got 10 submissions and 8 KOs. Very well-rounded. Seen his last fight against Derek Brunson. He was winning some of the wrestling exchanges there. Brunson took him down at the beginning, but he was able to reverse it, take him down, and then just threw a beating on him. Same thing with Darren Till, man. He took him down, tried to get him out of there in the first. He actually gassed out a lot in that fight, but still showed a dog heart and toughness and fought through it. Was able to knock out Trevin Giles, Marcus Perez, man. Sometimes he's looking sloppy in fights until he hits his knockout punch, but he's got decent wrestling, good jiu-jitsu, decent striking. He's very tough. He's very awkward. And he hits very, very hard. And he's a really good fighter. And he's going to beat a ton of fighters in the UFC like he already has, but he's just not going to beat Robert Whittaker, man. His striking, his defense, his cardio, all that is just going to be too much for Dricus, man. I do think Dricus makes it to the end. I think why Robert Whittaker picks him apart, because if you look, I'm going to be looking at the over in this fight, because if you look, Robert Whittaker hasn't finished anybody since that head kick I was talking about back against Souza. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. His last 6 wins have been decision wins. So unless he hits Dricus with that head kick, I think that he gets him out of here. I mean, I think it goes to decision. I think if he wins, it's going to be by a head kick that Dricus does not see. Next fight is in the men's middleweight division. We got Bo Niko versus Tresean Gore. Bo Niko is 4-0, currently sitting at minus 1,200. He's 27 years old, 6'1", with a 76-inch reach. Tresean Gore, 4-2, currently sitting at plus 750, is 29 years old, 6 foot with a 75-inch reach. So you see the height and reach is basically identical. Bo's 1 inch taller, 1 inch of reach. Bo Niko, phenomenal wrestler, 3-time NCAA champion at Penn State. Actually was I believe a runner-up his freshman year too. One of the best wrestlers to ever enter the UFC. Definitely in the heavier weight division. Cejudo's obviously the best one to ever enter the UFC, and probably will be the best one to ever enter the UFC. But this dude is up there, man. Especially in the higher weights, he's probably got the best wrestling. You seen what he did to Jamie Pickett, man. Nice knee to the balls, straight to the takedown, choked him out with the arm triangle, had him in the arm triangle for about a minute and a half before he was able to finish it. But Jamie Pickett is terrible. Donovan Beard on the Contender Series, man. He went in, he faked the shot, hit him with the freaking left hand up top, dropped him, and then triangle choked him out, and did pretty much the same to Borrega, man. He just goes in, ragdolls these dudes, and then finishes them. I do want to say, though, what's weird is if you go look here at his grappling, where he had 2 draws in a row, he's having draws to guys that are not good. And that was less than a year ago, right? Well, right at a year ago. And he's having a draw with this guy who is 2, 4, 6. Wait, 2, 4, 6, 8. He's 3-8 in his grappling, and Bo Niko couldn't even finish this guy. That's super weird to me. Then this dude, Oliver Taza, it makes me think that people that actually have good jiu-jitsu know what to do with him, man. So here we got this dude. Look, draw with Bo Niko. This guy is not good at grappling, really. You know what I mean? Not bad. He started off decent, but look at all these losses. And Bo Niko's out here drawing with him. The dude, after he drew with him, he's 2-3. So I don't know how good Bo Niko's grappling actually are. And this is within the last year, man. Then we're both on the same night. He's just going to draws with dudes that are kind of low-level grapplers. You know what I mean? Tresean Gore, black belt in jiu-jitsu under Diego Lima. Black belt, man. He's got good striking. He's got powerful leg kicks. He needs to keep his hand up, not throw naked leg kicks like he did with Cody Brundage, because that's when he got taken out with that straight left. But he's got good striking. He's got good wrestling offensively and defensively. He's got black belt in jiu-jitsu. You've seen his last fight against what's the tall dude? Josh Fremd, where he was able to choke his neck off with that backwards bulldog guillotine, man. It was crazy. Bo Niko's the biggest favorite here. It's so weird, man, because I just don't know how this is going to go. Obviously, Bo's going to come out, waste a ton of energy trying to take Gore down, but is Gore good enough with his black belt to survive a crazy first round and maybe half a second round and then put a beating on Bo Niko? I don't know. I don't know. I heard that in Bo Nickel in training. This is why everybody's so high on him, that he goes and taps out high level black belts really quick. But it's weird because he ain't doing it when he goes to grappling competitions. So I don't know, man. I'm not touching this fight. I'm anyway, because I could see Tresean Gore surviving and then, being with a black belt, just surviving the ground and then coming out in the second round. And maybe Bo Nickel's tired because he just tried to squeeze so hard. I don't know. I'm staying away from this fight. Give me Bo Nickel, I guess. I'm going to take him. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm not as confident in this fight as everybody else. Give me Bo Nickel, I guess, by submission, but I don't know. I don't trust it that much. I won't be anywhere near that fight. Next fight, man, is a tough one. We got the co-main event, Brandon Moreno versus Alexander Pantoja 3. Alexander Pantoja is 2-0 in this little competition. He won on the Ultimate Fighter back in the day. He choked Moreno out. The only person that ever finished Moreno. It's not on his record because it's Ultimate Fighter. And then he also beat him by decision about 5 years ago. But this is not the same Brandon Moreno from 5 years ago, man. This kid is super well-rounded. Excellent striking, powerful leg kicks, powerful body kicks. You've seen against Kai Kara France. You've seen the leg kicks against Figueiredo. He's got good grappling. You've seen that in the last fight against Figueiredo where he was able to take him down a couple times. He was beating him up on the ground, beat him up in the air before he hit him with that big shot that messed his eye up. But he's just very well-rounded. He mixes in his grappling and his wrestling very well. He's got excellent boxing. He's got, like I said, the powerful leg kicks, the powerful body kicks. He's got really good forward pressure, and he can use that as a weapon because he can take a ton of damage. So then he can just keep walking forward through people's stuff and then putting pressure on them, hitting them, taking their stuff, and eventually they wear down. And that's what he was doing to Davison Figueiredo. Like I said, very well-rounded, but I don't think he's going to have the wrestling advantage here, and the jiu-jitsu is pretty much a push here. The thing that sucks is Brandon Moreno's 29, Pantoja's 33, so he's getting a little older now. But Pantoja, man, has excellent kickboxing. He has really good boxing. He has a really good jab, and that's what he used in that second round to beat up Moreno, man. Broke his nose, had his face completely busted up, man, and just didn't even had Moreno not even wanting to engage. Really good boxing, really good power in his right hand too. And like I said, heavy hands because he does good with the jab. He's got really good wrestling. He's got really good jiu-jitsu. He's already subbed Moreno. But in the second fight, you could see Moreno was wanting to do more of the grappling and Pantoja was just keeping it standing. Didn't even really want to engage in the grappling too much and then was just beating up Moreno standing up. So Pantoja, well-rounded, powerful leg kicks, man. He used them against him in the second fight too. He's got an excellent jab, phenomenal scrambles and subs. He's very tough, very durable, and very game. He's never been finished in his whole career. So, man, this is so tough. This is such a tough fight to call. I'm actually going to go with Moreno just because I like his cardio. I think he has better cardio than Pantoja. If you watch Pantoja when he lost against Askar Askarov, he slowed down from a lot of the grappling, and I guarantee Brandon Moreno is going to watch that fight and want to go out and just push the pace, and hope Pantoja slows down, and then Moreno doesn't. And I'm going to say his striking's improved enough to where he doesn't eat that jab, get a broken nose, and he toughs out a really good, tough fought decision over Alexander Pantoja. And I can't wait to watch that fight. And I really love both them dudes. I hate to see somebody lose there. I will be looking at the over in that fight. Main event, Alexander Volkanovski versus Yair Rodriguez. Alexander Volkanovski is 25-2, currently sitting at minus 435. He's 34 years old, 5'6" with a 71.5-inch reach. Yair Rodriguez is 15-3, 5'11" with a 71-inch reach, and he's 30 years old, so he's 4 years younger. This is going to be a phenomenal fight. Alexander Volkanovski, one of the best fighters I've ever seen in my life, has some of the best fight IQ I've ever seen in my life. He has excellent striking. His boxing is phenomenal. He throws in combo. He blitzes in and throws 3-4 punch combos, and he hits hard with both hands. He'll switch stances effortlessly and just beating dudes up. Throws inside and outside leg kicks with both legs from both stance. Phenomenal leg kicks. You've seen him beat up Max Holloway with them leg kicks. His boxing is so good. Like, you seen what he did to Chan Sung Jung. He didn't even know what to do. His jiu-jitsu, phenomenal. You've seen against Brian Ortega. He was in all kinds of danger 2 different times in a triangle. guillotine, mounted guillotine, all that, and he survived, man. This dude is really good. I thought he lost to Islam, but he put up one of the best fights ever, and that's why he got the #1 pound-for-pound ranking, because he came up a weight division and did all that. He's got underrated power in his hands, man. He hits really hard, and he has excellent power in both hands. I know he doesn't really finish guys, but he beats them up. His last 5 of 6 fights have went to 6 of his last 7 have went to decision. You see that the only person he finished was Chad Mendez, and then he finished Chan Young Zong. But in between the Mendez and now, he's only got 1 finish, and 6 of them went to decision. World-class toughness, cardio, and well-roundedness. Like, he's just good. There's just not really anywhere you can beat him anywhere and say that he has a flaw. His cardio is crazy. His toughness is crazy, and he's well-rounded and great everywhere. Excellent offensive wrestling. He'll definitely have the wrestling advantage here. He can stay safe in Yair's guard and probably beat him up from the top, kind of like Max did if he needs to. But Yair Rodriguez is one of the most explosive, dangerous fighters to ever fight in the UFC, man. His Taekwondo style is wild. He throws power-ass left body kick, and then he'll follow it with the straight right. And it's so fast, the combos that he hits people with. His leg kicks and calf kicks are crazy. You've seen what he did to Max Holloway. If Max Holloway wasn't one of the toughest guy in the freaking world, he probably would have had him out of there in 5 rounds, man. He mixes up his punches and kicks perfectly in combo. He's throwing to the body, to the head, mixing in, like I said, throws that left kick and then straight to the right punch right behind it. His calf kicks and body kicks are crazy. Beat up Max with the calf kicks, hurt Josh Emmett with them body kicks, and he's got good, phenomenal BJJ off his back. He was hurting Brian Ortega. Brian Ortega had to shoot. He put him in like a triangle armbar, and then Ortega got out of it. But when he pulled out, it hurt his shoulder somehow because it was the exact arm he was doing. Triangle choke Josh Emmett out, man. Like, the guy is very dangerous, and he's so fast. He's just, the body kicks, the head kicks. This is the guy. If anybody's going to beat Volkanovski at 145, other than maybe Topuria coming up, is Yair, because Yair isn't. It's going to be tough to just beat Volkanovski over a 5-round fight and beat him 4-1 or 3-2. You've seen it with Max. You've seen it with everybody. But if somebody's going to do it, it's going to be Yair that's going to hit him with some kick he doesn't see, a body kick or a head kick. I will say this: Volkanovski is susceptible to the head kick. Go check it out. In his only loss, well, besides to Makhachev, but in his only loss, he got head kicked and he got knocked out. Then if you go see in fight number 2 with Max Holloway hits him with a head kick, rocks him, and drops him. Islam hit him with a head kick and rocked him, dude. He actually, I think it's because he's so short and he has his torso so little. He's trying to block the head and the body from a body or head kick, and he gets caught in the head a little bit. So maybe Yair hits him with one of them and catches him with something crazy, club and sub something, because that's what it's going to take. He's not going to beat Volkanovski over 5 rounds. I'm taking Volkanovski to keep his title. I'm going to say that he survives a first 3 tough rounds, and then he just starts taking over on Yair, because Yair does slow down. If Yair showed crazy 5-round cardio, he did go 5 hard rounds against Max, but he stopped basically in the 5th and the 3rd round and got grappled and laid there and looked really tired. And you're never going to see that out of Volkanovski. So Yair is going to have to hit him with the early knockout, and I don't see that happening. And then from there, Yair is one of the most toughest guys on earth, also durable. So I think Volkanovski gets this done by decision, and I'll be looking at the over in this fight instead of just betting it straight, because the money lines are crazy. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me for another breakdown video. This felt like a really good, clean video. We're gonna win some money. I'm gonna have my over-unders and my prop bets and all that coming out. I don't have too many bets in yet, so nothing to really talk about, but I will have them when I get to see these prop numbers, and we're gonna hit it big. Mr. Pay-Per-View is gonna show up big this week. We're gonna kill it. We're gonna get them 3.85 units back that they took back of their money last week. I don't like when they take their money back, so we're gonna get it back, man. I appreciate all you guys hanging out, watching this with me. Check out the Discord, check out the Patreon if you want to support the channel, and I will see you guys on